What's up, everyone? Welcome. This is two new faces for you put together. This is Romeo Anthony Cologne, and this is Chris G.
Oh yeah, of course, and my co-host, Mary Jane.
And my co-host, Buddy O.
Oh yeah, this is a four-way dance.
This is the Wednesday Night Warriors.
Oh yeah.
And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be talking WWE NXT and AEW All Elite Wrestling, the Wednesday Night War.
We are going to be reviewing both shows, making sure we hit most of the segments.
Yeah,
we're going to try to get all
every single segment. Of course, our good friends at All Elite Recap, Marcus Cash, Jimmy Macrum, they got AEW pretty covered, but we will delve into AEW. More so NXT. We need more NXT coverage on the channel. But our main goal is to figure out what was the better show of the night.
Yes, and I think we're gonna have very different views on these shows, so I'm excited to get into it. Before we get into it, I have to light up. Everybody out there at home watching with us, feel free to do the same thing.
We will be unbiased in our judgment.
We're gonna try. We're gonna try.
I know Chris likes AEW more. I'm more of an NXT head, but we will try our very best to be unbiased. Stay tuned. At the end of the video, we'll have our MVP of the night, our Jabroni of the evening, match of the night. We'll look at ratings predictions. We'll even do In Your House predictions. But before that, obviously, if you're watching the Tru Heel Heat channel, help us out. Drop a like, drop a comment, share this video, subscribe if you haven't already. We have a bunch of great shows, great content for you.
And the best part about it, it all cost $3.99.
Let's get into tonight's activities. We'll jump around from show to show as we were watching both at the same time. AEW starts it off with a nice little Black Lives Matters video package.
Yep.
NXT did not fuck around with that shit for whatever reason.
Yeah, I guess Vince doesn't like being too out there when it comes to the racial matters. They usually try to stay away from pretty much addressing anything publicly, especially before their shows. I'm pretty sure they want the wrestlers not to tweet about shit, but they do it anyway.
Not gonna get political, but you know who Vince McMahon is quite with. Yeah. Starting with AEW, we had a tag team championship match. Kenny Omega, Hangman Page, they beat Kip Sabian and Jimmy Havoc.
I didn't think Jimmy Havoc and Kip Sabian would gel so good. They actually look like they've been tag team partners for a long time. They just seem to gel. Maybe it was just this match. They seem to gel more than the last couple matches that I've seen them on Dark.
I thought Kenny and Page looked great as usual. I could care less about Kip and Havoc, really.
Well, Kenny and Page proved that they have really great chemistry in the match against the Bucks. So we already knew what we were getting with them. But I was surprised to see Kip and Jimmy Havoc really put some good shit together. So I'm happy to see those guys get some shine. Of course, they weren't going to win the belts. I think we all kind of knew that one. But they put in some good work. So we'll see what happens with them in the future.
I don't like them, and me and Chris are already disagreeing. So this is fun.
Ooh, the best part about that match is when Jimmy Havoc went to do like a jumping European uppercut, but right before he hits Kenny with it, he just fucking yells out "Hadouken!" and just hits him with a nice uppercut. So nice little tribute to one of the greater video game franchises out there.
Over on NXT, it's Mia Yim, Candice LeRae, double count out. Women get involved after. We had Tegan Knox, Dakota Kai, Raquel, Shotzi. And then it leads to an intergender match, which is what I was expecting the whole time with this storyline. Johnny Gargano and Candice versus Mia Yim and Keith Lee. Gargano has Sparkies. Puts him in Keith Lee's face. Candice takes advantage of the distraction in the ring, wins.
Well, It was nice to see Johnny Gargano channel his inner Puerto Rican and shank somebody in the middle of a match, even if it was with his car key. I'm sure he's driving something right now that doesn't actually have a key. It's just a button and a fucking little nub that you put in the space. But whatever.
What does Chuck drive?
I have no. He looks like a fucking Prius guy. I'm sorry. Johnny Gargano looks like a Prius guy. He looks like when he's doing 40 down on one way, you hear that's Johnny Gargano.
It is announced that Fyter Fest will be 2 weeks on TV, July 1st, July 8th. What do you think about this setup?
Well, I'm not really surprised. This might be like a trend because I seen Impact do it a month ago with their big pay-per-view where they stretched it into 2 nights. Obviously, WrestleMania stretched WrestleMania into 2 nights.
Now, Fyter Fest last year was a free pay-per-view.
Was a free pay-per-view.
Free
I mean, so, yeah, free per-view. Just watch per-view. I mean, hey, if it was free last year and they want to give it away for free again this year, then it's better than you do it on Dynamite. And if you're going to do it on Dynamite, what's better than having 1 night of Fyter Fest? You have 2 nights of Fyter Fest. People are going to be interested, so it's a good move. I don't see anything wrong with it, really.
Did you see this recap of a great promo from Tully Blanchard laying into Sean Spears, basically telling him enough of this comedy shit? Sean Spears is useless. Tully Blanchard, not going to get much out of him. Tully needs to invest in someone with a brighter future. He gives him a fingerless glove.
Well, that glove is supposed to have significance. That's supposed to be the glove that, like, I think it was like Barry Windham or somebody. Like a few people have worn. You know, it's supposed to signify something. But
well, they're all rolling in their graves right now.
I think Barry Windham's still alive. Well, to be honest, though, I mean, I'm not the biggest Sean Spears fan either. But I have PTSD. So this shit brought me back exactly to like when I was in 8th grade and my dean was ripping a new one into me because I was on my clown shit and he wanted me to graduate. So this actually had a soft spot for me. I like Tully Blanchard. It's good that they got him with Sean Spears. It makes Sean Spears interesting. Slightly interesting.
Tully Blanchard.
Slightly.
The Undisputed Era, they meet up with Adam Cole, baby. Kyle O'Reilly is back, and he's just got a nice beard. They celebrate Adam Cole's 1 year with the NXT Championship. And then we see Velveteen Dream rollerblading through the parking lot where he got beat up by Undisputed Era all those months ago. Eventually, he's talking into a magic mirror, and he asks the mirror who will be the next NXT champion. And then Prince, the ghost of Prince, appears in the mirror and says it'll be Velveteen.
Whoa! I mean, I dug it. I mean, when you look at Velveteen Dream, you think Prince. I mean, it's like synonymous. If you're a wrestling fan and you know what Dream is, and you know music and you know what Prince is, they're fucking almost the same person. So it made sense. I liked it. I mean, I seen him and I marked out. I'm not gonna lie. Purple Rain popped up in my head.
They will be in a backlot brawl at NXT TakeOver In Your House.
Can't wait.
We had Taz and Brian Cage. They cut a promo. Eventually Mox comes out. All I have to say about this is that I really love Taz's intensity here.
Yeah, and it goes. It really compliments a guy like Brian Cage because Brian Cage isn't the strongest promo guy, but he looks intense as fuck. And he could back it up, so it's a good combination. I just don't like the fact that they're shooting him to the moon for the first feud. Kind of feel like Jon Moxley's going to hold on to the title for a little while, so even though it makes Brian Cage feel important, it gives him a spotlight early, I think it's a little too early for him.
They'll do what they did with, what's his face, Brody Lee.
With Brody Lee, I didn't really like that either. But he didn't look bad, he doesn't look bad now.
Over on NXT, we see Dexter Lumis messing around with his artwork. It's a picture, a painting, a drawing of Undisputed Era being held hostage in a truck that he's driving.
Yeah, he went from fucking Bob Ross to Liam Neeson in the matter of 2 seconds. That's a mighty big transition.
Swerve beats Tony Nese. Gallagher tried to distract Swerve. Didn't work.
That's who that was, Jack Gallagher?
Yes.
I know. I just haven't seen him in a while. He looks jacked and mean.
He
looks like Connor Light. Went from, sir, I'll bring your daughter home by 10. She ain't coming home tonight.
She calls me daddy now.
She calls me daddy now.
Back over on AEW Dynamite, Chris Jericho versus Colt Cabana. Chris Jericho's entrance, Sammy Guevara singing his song obnoxiously and terribly, forgetting words. I muted this. Now that's generous. That's very generous. I could have easily, but if I'm a viewer watching one or the other, I could have easily just changed the channel. But I'm watching both at the same time. I muted this.
I mean, if I'm going to karaoke, I'm telling Sammy G to come through. Not for his voice, obviously, but the ambiance, the presence of the Spanish guy.
I don't care for Colt Cabana either. I think Cabana looked too good against a former AEW World Champion. Jericho wins. He wants to taste the blood of Mike Tyson. He wants the baddest person on the planet, and he wants him tonight. So he gets him. He gets Orange Cassidy. This eventually leads to an Inner Circle versus Best Friends standoff. Take this away.
I only really caught highlights of the match and just screenshots of him meeting Orange Cassidy. I assumed that Orange Cassidy just got beat down by the Inner Circle, but it's good to see the Best Friends had his back.
He escaped. Orange Cassidy escaped. He dodged a few moves with his hands in his pocket from Jericho and Jack Hager.
He's just too damn smooth. There's no other way to explain it.
He's very smooth, very Matrix-like.
Too damn smooth. Colt, yeah, he has no business looking that good, but I appreciate the fact that AEW gave him the chance to showcase that he can do those things and he can be that good. But because he's a talented dude, but yeah, he's not for that right now. Not in AEW. Let Jericho just beat him up in a few minutes and carry on.
NXT, we have a triple threat tag team match. We have Birch and Lorcan versus Fish and Strong versus a mystery team. And the mystery team is Breezango.
I seen it coming, only because Tyler Breeze has actually been, having matches, whether it's NXT or 205 Live. He's been out there, and I couldn't really think of any other tag team that was making a return to NXT. Just hit me in my gut.
I thought it was going to be the one that shows up at the end.
Which was, I didn't get that part. I seen after the match was Imperium. Who was after?
Decent match. Undisputed Era gets distracted by Dexter Lumis in the crowd, looking cold as fuck. Breezango takes advantage of this and get the win. They're the number one contenders to Imperium. Imperium shows up. Eventually, Malcolm Bivens and his team in the share.
Yeah.
Forgot about them. They're also on NXT. They get involved in this ruckus, stare off. Tag team division in NXT seems pretty crowded all of a sudden. I don't know.
Which is a good thing, though. They needed some depth.
But speaking of tag team divisions, let's go over to the real tag team division. The ace of all tag team divisions. Got an interview with FTR. They compliment all the AEW tag teams, except the Young Bucks. They don't look at the Young Bucks as a dream match. And they make fun of the fact that Hangman and Omega aren't even a real tag team. Oof. Tony Schiavone thinks that FTR stands for
That's what I thought it stood for.
The Butcher and the Blade interrupt. They will get a match against FTR next week on Dynamite.
Yeah, I caught it. It was really good. I like the pull apart. It was dope. It was intense. I'm not used to this side of the Revolt, or FTR, as you want to call them. Which I believe FTR is really Fear the Revolt.
They said it stands for several things, pretty much whatever they feel like at the moment.
Oh, well, Fear the Revolt's another one that sounds good. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see. I mean, of course, everybody wants to see them in the Young Bucks, but them versus the Butcher and the Blade should be a good match as well.
I think we'll see FTR Young Bucks at All Out.
September. I dig it.
NXT, Santana Garrett beats Aaliyah in 2 minutes. Blah. Then we see a Prime Target video package. The women's triple threat at NXT. Io Shirai is speaking underwater. Thankfully, not appearing lifeless in the water like Matt Hardy did at Real.
He wasn't lifeless. He was transforming.
Rhea Ripley talks about how special she is because she gets up at 5:30 in the morning. Okay. Join the club. Not the only one. Then we see the Queen, Charlotte Flair, at the PC. She makes fun of the fact that these idiots yelled, "You don't go here." In fact, she actually made her first ever NXT class.
Facts.
I thought it was a better video package than the one earlier in the week.
This one was more intense. The other one was like, what the fuck? Why is this guy rollerblading around the parking lot, just reminiscing about it, getting beat up?
Cameron Grimes beats Bronson Reed in less than 3 minutes. Move on. Let's go back to AEW. The main event. Cody versus Jungle Boy for the TNT Championship. That belt still looks like crap. I said Cody's got Arn Anderson out here. I think Arn Anderson could have taken the night off. He's just facing a boy. I don't think Cody needs all that backup against a boy.
Is the boy not faster than Cody Rhodes?
I mean, because Jungle Boy doesn't have the Jurassic Express out there.
Yeah, so but they're more of his teammates, his backup if shit hits the fan. Arn Anderson's just there to help Cody strategize. He's the missing link. He's the Phil Jackson to his, I ain't gonna call Cody MJ, to his Pippin. He could be Pippin.
Oof. Wow, your Pippin line completely erased my notes from my screen. Cody blades in this match, and I'm just like, why? This was a TV match. It wasn't even built up over a long stretch of time. Why are you giving away blood and guts for this? Save this for something more meaningful. Do you see what I'm saying, or no? Or am I being going too far with that?
No, you're right, because I actually questioned it if he actually bladed, because I missed the spot where he started leaking.
If he bladed, I'm assuming that he bladed.
He fucking bladed. You seen that camera pan out? You seen him?
Yeah, I
himself
strongly think it, but I just want to give myself a backdoor.
Oh, he has the history. He has the history of doing it. And hey, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Sometimes blood is needed, but it wasn't really needed today.
Good match. Not as good as MJF Jungle Boy. By the way, MJF was in the crowd here talking shit.
And they got pretty heated at one point. They were face to face. He was even talking shit to Wardlow. I like Jungle Boy. He got balls.
I'm not sure his balls have dropped just yet. He's still a boy.
He gotta be Jungle Man.
Cody wins with the Crossroads. After the match, Jurassic Express comes out. Mad respect all around. Shaking hands. Pyro and blood. Blood and guts.
It was a very good match. It wasn't as good as the MJF Jungle Boy match, but it didn't need to be. It's the first, TNT title defense match on TNT. You save those type of matches for the pay-per-views, which is really good. Which is why I think it's different about AEW. The pay-per-view matches feel like pay-per-view matches. Sometimes WWE, even not so much TakeOver, but main roster, their pay-per-view matches feel like fucking Monday Night Raw or SmackDown Live matches. So, I'm excited. Fyter Fest, even though it's not a pay-per-view, should be dope.
Over to NXT, Drake versus El Hijo. Fantasma. The end of the match. El Hijo is outside. Mysterious masked dudes who have been kidnapping everybody in recent months. In the parking lot, they appear. But that's enough of a distraction as Fantasma finishes him with the Phantom Driver. I am crushed. This is the end of Drake Maverick's WWE career. His release. Or is he? Triple H meets Drake at the stage as Drake is saying goodbye, and he hands him a contract. Drake cries. He signs it. Drake is back. I'm back. I'm happy with it. What do you think of this match? The storyline at the end, and the relation that it has to the real life unemployment that was Black. What was it? Monday, Tuesday, something.
Black. I believe it was Black Monday.
Yeah.
It's usually Black Monday. The match was solid. I liked the story it told. You know, Drake Maverick fighting. He's fighting for his job. And in the beginning, it's just like he can't figure out El Hijo de Fantasma because he's doubting himself. He don't know if he could do this. He's already saying his goodbyes and shit. Then, you know, when it starts picking up and they start trading spots, you think Drake Maverick was good. I thought he was going to win the title, honestly. I thought he was going to get a contract the whole time. I thought, you know, that was the payoff for the storyline. Bam, you're the new interim champ. We got to give you a contract. The fact that he lost and they still gave him a contract, that's cool. But I think, shit, he probably never even got released. Maybe this was all show just to get an NXT contract. It makes you think, like,
do you think
this shit work?
Under good ethics?
Not during a fucking global pandemic. That's terrible.
Everyone else lost their job. And here they see Drake Maverick lost his job too, but not really. He didn't really lose his job, I guess.
Unless they just really feel bad, like they seen the video he made as soon as he got released and shit, and they had guys. Braun Strowman's one of his best friends and shit. Maybe he had guys in Vince's ear like, yo, come on, let's give him another chance. We could do something with him. And they really brought this whole storyline. You know, maybe the shit with Triple H tonight, giving him the contract, maybe that was a shoot. But knowing Vince and the WWE, or knowing, a little bit about them, what I know about them in the last 29 years of my life, yeah, I don't know, shit's kind of shady.
Let's wrap up both shows here on Wednesday. Let's start with match of the night.
Me personally, I like the Cody versus Jungle Boy. It's just my type of match these days, my type of pace. It's fast. I didn't think the blading was necessary or the color, but it is what it is. It was pretty intense. I had the championship up for grabs. It is the first official title defense for the AEW TNT Championship, so that's always a cool little moment watching the first. Even though the Drake and Fantasma match was really good too, I just find myself more invested in the AEW main event these days.
I went with Drake versus Fantasma. I thought it was the best story of the night. It definitely had the best drama for me. I was invested in the storyline. I believed in Drake Maverick. I thought he was going to win. I was crushed when he lost. And I was risen again when he got his contract.
It was a good emotional story. Probably it was definitely the most emotional moment of the night. But in terms of the wrestling and just the atmosphere and the feel, the main event feel, I'm gonna stick with the Cody Boy and Jungle Boy match.
And that transitions into my MVP of the night, Drake Maverick. Even in losing, has a job again. He's employed. He doesn't have to go to the unemployment office like the rest of the country.
That's true. That's true.
Your MVP.
My MVP, believe it or not, even though I'm not his biggest fan, is Johnny Gargano. Because he shanked the mofo in the ring with his car key like he was a Rican in the 90s. My man, represent.
Jabroni of the night. You are very familiar with Jabronis.
Oh, absolutely.
You've been your fair share of them.
Absolutely. My Jabroni of the night has to be Jimmy Havoc for that week. Shoryuken. It was entertaining, but it was weak.
My Jabroni of the night is Sammy Guevara with that awful singing. If I have to mute you, sheesh, that says a lot. Let's do a rating prediction for the show, and to help us out, I have the numbers from last week. AEW beat NXT. The AEW had 827,000. NXT had 731,000. What do you say NXT will do
NXT, I think NXT is gonna slightly edge AEW, so they're gonna get the increase as well. Definitely the increase. They'll have like a 780. They're gonna barely edge them out. I don't think either one of them is gonna hit 800,000, but I think NXT 780, AEW somewhere 770, 765. Just I feel like those extra 15,000 might have wanted to watch the Drake Maverick storyline. So you never know.
I think that with everything that's going on in America, the protests, curfews, I think both shows are going to dip a lot.
A lot, sure.
AEW 700,000 and NXT 602,000. And let's pick who was the show of the night here on Wednesday Night Warriors. Chris G, who you got?
All together?
Or AEW?
All together, I'm going to have to go with AEW Dynamite.
And I am going to agree with you. AEW had more story building. NXT
more action.
A lot of filler.
Yeah.
Say that again?
No, yeah, I was agreeing with you. They had a lot more filler. AEW had more action, way more action.
Even though NXT had the best story, AEW was more consistent throughout the 2 hours. We want to hear from you, the True Heels. Tell us if you agree with us. Do you think AEW won this night? If you think NXT won this night, please tell us why. Do you want to do In Your House predictions? Real quick?
Yeah, sure. Let's run down the card.
Let's start from the bottom. They just added this 3-on-3 women's match. Shotzi, Mia Yim, Tegan Knox versus Candice, Raquel, and Dakota.
I got the faces winning.
I'm gonna go with the heels.
We're gonna have to keep going.
Yeah. I mean, these are Romeo's can't miss picks you're fucking with here. Don't forget that.
Oof.
Finn Balor versus Damian Priest, who are both not on the show tonight.
Oof. I'm gonna go with Finn. Steals
I think you got to keep Finn strong here. Damian Priest always loses.
Yeah.
And he's really letting down us Puerto Ricans reviewers. Really letting us down.
It's not his fault.
Johnny Gargano versus Keith Lee for the North American Championship.
I think Keith Lee retains.
I'm going to go Johnny Gargano. When they seem to really want to build up Gargano and Candice. I think they keep Johnny strong here. This one, I am looking for. Moxley Ciampa versus Karrion Kross.
You got to make Karrion Kross look like a beast coming straight out the gate. You have to. I'm a big fan of Killer Kross's. I love them in every promotion, all the way from Impact, Lucha Underground when he was the fucking White Rabbit, whatever the way he was. I dig it, and I love Scarlett, so.
Ciampa can survive the L. Let them go at it. For the NXT Women's Championship, Charlotte Flair, Io Shirai, Rhea Ripley. Who you got?
Yo, this is tough. This one's tough. I already know who you're gonna pick. I don't know if I don't know if she really needs the belt. So why wouldn't you give it to either Io or Rhea? But I can't pick either one of them, so I'm gonna just say Charlotte. I'm gonna just say Charlotte.
Roller coaster ride there.
I know, man. That's a tough one for me, so I'm gonna just go with Charlotte because they're all really dope. That might be the match of the night. It's a show stealer right there.
It could be. My pick. I am not gonna pick Charlotte Flair. You didn't see that coming, did you? I'm not gonna pick Charlotte Flair. How about that?
I might have to lay
a vicious cycle. Charlotte wins a championship. Charlotte loses a championship. And she loses it, so she can win it again.
Yeah.
He needs to eventually head on to become a 13-time women's champion. The problem here is picking between Io and Rhea. I don't think Rhea should win this way. I think Io is going to pin Rhea and throw a huge wrench into this Rhea Charlotte. And finally, the main event, Adam Cole, baby, versus Velveteen Dream in a backlot brawl. Could this be another cinematic experience?
Most likely. I mean, I've been really liking the cinematic matches happening, so I think this one with the NXT monster behind it, well, the takeover monster behind it, and the whole vibe and feel, I think is going to be dope. Finally, youngest NXT champion ever.
Which is crazy because Velveteen Dream has been so cold since he came back. But Adam Cole is just... Is it time for his reign to end? I could see the argument for it. I just don't think Velveteen Dream perfectly. Adam Cole retains. I think eventually we're heading back to Finn Balor building his way back up and him doing but want to dethrone Adam Cole. That's my prediction. All right, so those are our NXT TakeOver In Your House predictions. If you want to play along, put your picks in the comments below. And as always, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share this video. Chris G, any plugs?
You know where to follow me at. I'm going to just put it in the bottom of the screen. And yeah, Joints and Jabronis coming out next week.
Ooh.
Yeah, we got a lot of good shit. This month of June has been producing some jabroni worthy shit.
We'll be back next time for another edition of Wednesday Night Warriors. You can catch me on Twitter, Instagram, the Pride of NYC. Also on the Tru Heel Heat channel. Follow Tru Heel Heat on Instagram. I'll be back on another True Rewind with Drunk Guy JJ and SB3 on Monday. And thanks for watching. We're out.
Peace.